Hello, my friend, and welcome back to Riffing with Clintus Outdoor Edition. Yeah, I think this might be the new format for the podcast. It's been a while. It's been a long time, actually. It's been a long time. And people ask me all the time, when are you going to do the podcast? When are you going to bring back the podcast? The podcast are going to come back. You should do a podcast episode. And the whole time I'm like, no, I'm focusing on the vlogs. I'm rebuilding the channel. I'm rebuilding the audience. And I want to get back to, having a community around my daily vlogs. And so that's been my whole focus. Even Twitch has taken a huge back seat. I stream maybe once a week if I'm lucky. The podcast just never really was a main thing that I focused on. It wasn't a concern of mine. But I heard you. And I knew in the back of my mind there was a demand for it. Well, fast forward to this last week. I've been talking to a couple AI bots. And if you don't watch the vlogs, I'll do a quick brief update, get you up to speed of where we're at today, because it's important. Stay with me, okay? I know you may not care about AI, but stay with me. For the last, 6 months, maybe even a year, I've been using vidIQ Boost. They have a chat bot called AI Coach. So it's basically like a YouTube coach via AI. I had the basic plan, so I would talk to it from time to time, but didn't really find a ton of value at first. Then all of a sudden something unlocked, and I started talking to it more and more about helping me build title strategies. Why does this title work? Then I started asking questions about other people's videos. Hey, why did this person use this title when they could have used this title or that title? And it really broke it down for me based on real YouTube data, saying this is why this works. This is why they did this. This is why you should do that. And it started to give me this confidence of making decisions with my vlogs. I also use Claude. I chose Claude over ChatGPT for various reasons. Just do my research. I went with Claude. So I will talk to Claude and AI Coach, and I even have a three-way conversation where I feed their responses to each other. I said, this is what vidIQ thought of this. This is what Claude's response was. And we have this great synergy. We actually built a document. We're at version 2.10 of a title strategy. We have rules, we have lanes. It's fantastic. I am so ecstatic right now. I actually talked about this in one of the recent vlogs that I've gamified YouTube, where it's now a game for me. I'm trying to level up my vlogs and level up my channel, and it's fun. I'm having a blast. Okay, so now you kind of know where we're at. Last week I started a conversation with just vidIQ. I didn't bring in Claude because it's this is just a strictly YouTube thing, less about strategy, more about data. So since vidIQ is tied directly into my channel and thousands of other channels and knows trends and what works and what doesn't, this is just a conversation between the two of us. I asked it, hey, why is this video a 10 out of 10? What did we miss? What could we have done better? And that started the conversation. That was I think that was a Tuesday, because it was Monday's video. And so the conversation started, and we ended up deciding to change the title about 8 hours into the published time. So we changed the title. And let's look back on this 24 hours and 48 hours from now, see if the title, anything makes a difference, anything changes. Well, Tuesday comes, Tuesday's video, so Wednesday comes, and it's hey, this video is a 9 out of 10. Why? Why is this video also doing bad? I thought this video would do better because of X, Y, and Z. More talking, more data, more testing. Day 3, 10 out of 10. I'm yo, something's wrong here. We're trending in the wrong direction. My last 3 videos now have been lowest performers. And the next video is underperforming the last video. It just keeps going down. 4th day, same thing, 10 out of 10. And so at this point now, we've got 4 days of videos, 4 days of data, and we had this crazy in-depth conversation analyzing the click-through rates, the retention graphs, and it starts asking me questions. Well, can you tell me this? Can you get me this information? I need to figure out what's causing this. And I came back and said, well, I can tell you exactly what these are. I can tell you what these spikes are. I can tell you what these dips are. I can tell you exactly what's going on. I know what's going on. Let me explain it to you. And I give it all the details. And it's I almost blew the AI's mind. They're wow, you just solved the mystery. This is what this is, this is what this is. So the conclusion is that you need to do this, this, and this, and this, this, and this. And I'm thank you. That's okay. I knew the answer already, but to hear someone that I trust, right, an authority, say it, okay, confirms it. And then I had to figure out, how do I change it? How do I tweak the information they gave me to improve the vlogs? And sidebar, last week also, these videos had a lot of this, a lot of walk and talk rants. And there were a couple of comments that were left that I read them. I read every comment, I engage with every comment, I take the feedback in, but I take it and I kind of push it to the side, like, okay, I want to pin it over here. I hear you. I'm not going to knee-jerk make a reaction to it, because at the end of the day, I want to do these long walk and talks. I talk about the vlogs being a journal for me, right? When there's something in my mind, when there's something in my brain, I want to get it off, get it out, right? But when I put in a 8-minute rant in the middle of a 20-minute long vlog, that is where not everyone, sorry, I should say everyone, because there was people that watch the vlog, walk and talks, and they leave comments that they love the walk and talks and they like the longer videos. A large portion of the viewers skip it, and you can see it in the retention graph. AI asked about it, I pointed it out, I verified it by 4 or 5 videos, that's it. So the conclusion was that the vast majority of the people that are clicking on my daily vlog are not there for the long walk and talk rants, right? They might care what I have to say, but when it goes on and on and on, and we're in one location and there's not any kind of breakups, I'm losing their retention. The AI came back and said, so you have 2 options. You have 1, just stop doing those. 2, break them up around other parts of your day, right? Find a way to take that 5, 6, 8-minute rant and break it up around, other activities. Because I use other people's videos as examples, saying, hey, this guy talked for 8 minutes, but he did this, this, and this. And I have to give that information to the AI so that it contextualizes it, because otherwise it's just going off of like high level and it doesn't understand why, I have to give it context. So once I gave it context and explained this, that was the conclusion we came up with, is okay, take the rants and break them up. But then going back to the comments, reading the comments, there was 2 comments that kind of got to me. One said that this is like a podcast. This should be a podcast. Talking like this is for podcasts or something like that, okay? That was the first comment. And I responded and I said, I appreciate the feedback, but I do want to do these in the vlog. And I only want to do the vlogs, right? That was like my mentality. We were just doing vlogs here. The second comment was about exactly what I just said, that people come for our daily lives. They want to see what the kids are up to, what Tiffany's up to. They want to see what we're doing. They don't necessarily want to listen to me talk for 6 or 7 minutes about 1 or 2 topics. Again, fair point. Appreciate the feedback. And that's when it clicked. After the conversation and coming to the conclusion that the retention graph dips are almost always my long walk and talk rants, it clicked that I can do these walk and talks, pull them out of the vlog, and make it the podcast. So Riffing with Clintus is making a comeback, and it's going to be sometimes in the studio, at the desk, in front of the microphone, but especially when it's ridiculously hot outside. But we're gonna be doing these walk and talks. We're gonna go to a park and sit. Anytime I have something to say, a topic that I want to talk about, it also just makes more sense in the podcast format, because now the podcast has a title. It's separate from the vlog. The vlogs always have a hard time picking a title and thumbnail because, I do 5, 6, 7 things a day from time to time, right? Go to work, be at work, get home, go to the store, cook dinner, go for a walk and talk. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whereas if I have this 8-minute rant, this 8-minute thing that I want to talk about, whether it's AI or video games or something at work or whatever, and I make that the title and the thumbnail, people come and go, oh, cool, I'm curious what he has to say. Oh shit, it's an 8-minute rant? Okay. But if you know that it's a podcast episode, you know that it's gonna be 20, 30 minutes, maybe even 10, maybe podcast episode's only 10 minutes. You go into it going, oh, this is gonna be a rant. This is gonna be a podcast that I don't have to watch the screen. I can just put it on in the background and listen to it. I think it's a win-win. I think so. So we're gonna test this out. This is the return of Riffing with Clintus, season 3. We're gonna call it season 3. I don't know what number we're at the moment. I have to look it up. I wanna say we're in the 80s, close to the 80s. I'm not gonna restart because like everything else I do in my life, it's one continuous, I want you to go back and listen to the old episodes of the podcast, just like I want you to go back and watch the old episodes of the vlog, because it's my life. It's, it's still Riffing with Clintus. It's still Clintus.tv. We're not starting something new. We are just evolving. We're growing, right? Because that's life. That is what we do as humans, is that we grow, we evolve, we adapt. You know, as our life experiences change, so do we. So now that you are up to speed as to why we're out here walking and talking on the podcast, let me talk about today, right now, this moment. I am extremely happy with where the vlogs are at. That's why when day after day in a row, the videos were not performing well, I really wanted to know why. I have this great conversation going on with the AI that I was like, okay, explain to me why these videos, we've been on this upward trend. All the numbers are going up. All these numbers are going up. And I know that the increase of Bryce in the titles and thumbnails, and just in general in the vlogs, like everyone knows that Bryce is around more, so they're more likely to click on the video and go, is Bryce in this video today? You know? Not just the ones that he's at the title or the thumbnail. Everything was going up. The floor was rising. So then all of a sudden we had 3 or 4 videos that were below the floor. I wanted to know why. So again, I take all of this data objectively and I come at it with the angle of like learning, right? Not complaining. Like I'm not complaining. When I talk about things in the vlogs, sometimes people assume it's me complaining or like legitimately wondering why. First of all, I have to remind everybody that this is YouTube. I have to have some kind of good title to get you to click. I don't clickbait, I don't lie, I don't deceive. But I do sometimes have to pull something out just because I need a one-liner, right? I need the one-liner to get you to click. You know, like when we changed the title of that one video and put Casey Neistat's name in the title, I was a little reluctant, but at the same time, he is the center of the conversation, so it's legit. Now, if it gives me a little extra juice to get somebody to click on it to watch the video, then it serves its purpose. There was another video, the video that I talked about, I think it was last week, you know, about nobody watching, right? Nobody watching. 800,000 subscribers and nobody's watching. And someone like legit, like thought I was being like, it was a serious question and answered it like in a serious tone. And I was like, no, you didn't watch the video. You missed my point completely. I said that I have 800,000 subscribers and less than 1% of that number watches my videos. It's because they're all dead. It's because the algorithm isn't feeding my videos to them. It did serve them my videos and they chose not to watch it. And therefore it stopped serving them in the videos. If people actually knew how YouTube worked and actually used YouTube the way that it was intended, like, hey, you go to your subscription feed to watch your subscribers, you go to your homepage to find new videos. That's how it's supposed to work. The channels you already subscribe to, they already love, you just go to your subscription feed and they're all there in chronological order. That's how you watch those videos. You go to your homepage to find new videos, new channels. And a lot of times people just go to homepage and that's it. They never go anywhere else. So if you're missing my video, that's why. If you're missing a video from someone else you like, that's why. The main reason why I wasn't planning on bringing back the podcast was because I had it in my head that I didn't have time. I barely have time as it is doing a daily vlog, trying to squeeze in a stream on Twitch, trying to play video games, which is my favorite pastime, favorite hobby. I miss playing video games on a regular basis. I miss being able to put in actual time into a video game, right? The hour here, 30 minutes there. Oh, I get 2 hours tonight. Like, that's great. But the games I played, require a lot of time and commitment. And I'm missing that right now. So I'm like, podcast? No way. Sitting down for 30 minutes to an hour to talk about something? No way. I'll just talk about it in the vlogs. So this feels like a great hybrid where I'm able to, I'm doing my walk right now because I need my steps, right? I have my step bets. I worked from home on Wednesday, so I didn't get my steps in, so I have to get my steps in today. So if I was doing this for the vlog, we would have talked probably for 5 or 10 minutes maybe about something, and I would have put it in the vlog. And then I would have done the rest of my day, which is gonna be, hopefully, action-packed. We're doing stuff, I'm doing stuff. Today's vlog will be 30 minutes easily with that 8-minute rant. And instead, we're talking it out right now for the podcast. And so those who want to listen to a walk and talk, listen to the podcast. Those who just want to see about my day, watch the vlog. And for you psychos that like both, you get 2 videos now. You get 2 things to watch / listen to. And I love you for that. All right, so let's set expectations, shall we? I want to say this is going to be a weekly thing, but I don't want to commit to a weekly thing. If I skip a week, it might happen. But my goal is, or my thought process is, that I have at least one of these rants with me every week. I mean, let's be real. I like to talk. And if I'm doing a daily vlog and something comes up and I want to talk about it, it would go in the vlog. But knowing now that we're breaking it off into the podcast, I think it's gonna be a lot easier for me to say, put a pin in this conversation, write it down, have a little note, I have a note. I already have a podcast note, but I'm gonna be more diligent about it. That when I find myself, driving home from work, or driving to work, or in my office, or in the kitchen table, or on a walk and talk, and I feel like I want to talk about something, do it. Do it just like I am right now. Do it like I would do for the vlog. Don't worry about the edit. Don't worry about cutting myself short. Take it and then break it off and make that the podcast. So I'm pretty confident that we should be able to have one of these a week. There might even be two. And that'd be great if I could actually record 2 in a week, and then I'm like, cool, I can just bank it. Unless it's time sensitive, unless it has something to do with something going on right now, like say the World Cup. Say I want to talk about the World Cup. Well, what's going on right now? I need to post that now. I can't wait, 3 or 4 weeks from now. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident that we should be able to crank one of these out once a week. With that being said, depending on when I record it, I hate sitting on content. I always have. I hate sitting on stuff and that's one of the reasons why I suck at birthday presents. Because I buy something, I want to give it to you now, not sit on it for 2 weeks for your birthday. I want to say that these are going to go up. Monday would be great, right? But I'm just going to be real. If I record this on a Wednesday, it's going up on Thursday. I think it's just going to happen. So you're going to get random episodes whenever they post. Through conversation with vidIQ, the AI coach, we determined that a late afternoon, early evening upload is the best for the podcast. I'm moving the vlogs up a little earlier. I've been doing 11 o'clock now for the last 6 months or so. I started testing out 10 a.m. and I think I'm gonna land at 9 a.m. I think I'm gonna start publishing them at 9 a.m. So I know that gives members a little less time, so I apologize for that. But again, for the holistic, I'm gonna try really hard to publish it a little earlier. And because I think the 9 a.m. time is, again, the analytics are kind of pointing in a certain direction. And then on top of that, I'm hoping to speed up the editing process at night and actually publish at night. So it goes live for members before I go to bed. So, you Europeans and your East Coasters, you'll actually have it a little earlier, hopefully. But again, everything's liquid. Nothing's a solid state. Nothing is permanent, right? Everything we're doing, we can change tomorrow. We can change the next day. So it's a lot of testing and figuring out what works for me, specifically, what works for me, and then what works for the general population, what works for the majority. That is a change I plan on making. So if the vlogs are going up at 9 a.m., then the podcast going up, say, at 5 p.m., 6 p.m., that seems to be the most logical sense. So the podcast will drop in the afternoon, late afternoon, early evenings. And then you guys can watch/listen, dinner, after dinner, or it'll be ready for you in your early commutes. All right, that's it. That's what this was all about. The return of Riffing with Clintus. This is the new format. This is the new style. Though it's not always going to be a walk and talk. It could definitely be sitting at my desk. It could definitely be sitting at the kitchen table. It could definitely be in the kitchen. If you watch the vlogs, and you have for the last, say, month or two, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Anytime I come back and I have a moment to myself and I want to reflect on something, I want to talk about something, I'm a talker, and it starts to flow out of me, and next thing you know, I've got 10, 15 minutes of footage to chop down and try and make it somewhat concise. We're not going to do that anymore. We're going to move that over here to the podcast. It's going to be a new episode of the podcast, and it's going to go out when it goes out. The last thing I'll say on this, again, one more comment that got said this last week, was that I talk a lot. And that's always been I guess, I don't want to say it's a complaint, but some people complain about me talking a lot. And I always replied back going yeah, I do. I talk a lot. I like to talk. That's the reason why live streaming became it pulled me from the vlogs. Because if you go back to the vlogs right before I went full-time Twitch, I did talk a lot. Right? I was talking more and more because the kids were around less and less. I've always live streamed. I streamed back in, before I quit Cox and went full-time YouTube. We streamed on Fridays, and then we streamed on Wednesdays and Fridays. And then I started doing Clintus games where we were playing video games and talking. And then we went to Twitch, and then we went full-time Twitch. And then we got the IRL backpack where I was streaming, IRL backpack streams like this. At the end of the day, I am a talker. I like to talk. That is who I am. That's what I am. And that's one of the reasons why I brought back the daily vlogs, because I just like talking on a regular basis. I missed streaming on a regular basis, right? we were streaming every day, so I was talking every day. And when I stopped doing that, I missed it. So we brought back the daily vlogs. Well, now I'm dialing the daily vlogs back into a day in the life style. So these rants still need to go somewhere. It makes sense for the podcast, but then I had in my head that I had to be at the desk. I had to be locked in and schedule some time and no. This is Riffing with Clintus, Clintus.tv edition. This is Riffing with Clintus, call it 2.0. Maybe it's 3.0, I don't know. I don't even know what version we're on. We're gonna call it season 3, but you get my point? Like, when someone complains about me talking too much, you don't know me. You don't realize who I am, what I am. I am a talker. I probably should have been a podcaster, right? I went to video because that's what I gravitated towards back in high school and college, and I got my degree in. I love video. I'm a visual person. I prefer to watch content than read content. That's just who I am. But I like to talk. So, live streams make the most sense to me because it's the perfect blend of visual and audio. Long form, talking, but still have the visual element because I am an animated person. I talk with my hands. I like to show things. That's why streaming, I think, just is my favorite thing to do. Still, to this day, streaming is my favorite thing to do. But, gotta be realistic. So, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for all the feedback. Thank you for all the support. I love you. I appreciate you. And welcome back to Riffing with Clintus.